All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of 2 and 6 Sports. I'm Mike, your favorite New England-based Eagles fan. All you Patriots fans love to hate me. And then we got Dmitri, our local Patriots fan here too. What's going on, Dmitri? It's been a little bit since we had you on. Lots been going on.
Oh yeah. A lot of changes, good things all around. So how about you?
Man, I just watched my team collapse on Monday Night Football. So
Yeah,
same things from last year I'm seeing. It's making me real worried already. It reminds
yeah.
me a lot of the second half of last year.
Mm.
So let's just rip right into that first topic because that is the first topic is the Eagles collapse on Monday Night Football. I made you a little gentleman's bet, $1. Feeling
Yep.
pretty confident, honestly. I was feeling pretty confident.
I even told you I was like, I'm gonna take that bet anyways, but the Eagles are gonna beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
And then I stayed up for like 3 quarters of the game, fell asleep like around like beginning of the fourth quarter, woke up the next day, and the first thing I see when I pull up Facebook is the last 90 seconds of primetime Kirk just marching down the field.
So
And the
even
Eagles
you,
couldn't do anything about it.
nothing in 6 plays. This is my problem with their defense in that prevent. It's just like, yeah, we're preventing the big play, but does it really matter if you prevent the big play if it's the same result in 6 plays and it only
Yep.
took them 45 seconds to do it?
Yeah.
It's
If they can
ridiculous.
only get 10, 12 yards, that's all you need for a first down. You just keep marching down. And they just let them do it too. It wasn't even like they ran the ball down their throat either. Kirk was just stepping back, getting the open receivers just enough, keep them in bounds, keep the clock going.
Oh, they gave such a big cushion. It was ridiculous. So you
The
were
whole
like
game,
me
I
in
thought
that
the Eagles
you
had it.
felt like the whatever happened at the end of last year had been fixed.
Mm.
It seems that way. And then
Especially with all the additions you had. I mean, Saquon dropping that pass, man, he's wide open. How does he drop that? Hit him in the hands.
it did. It's what's so tough about it is you can't kill him because he was running for like 10 yards of carry that game.
Oh yeah,
So it's
but it's
like,
just
oh
when
man,
you needed him the
killed.
most,
Yeah,
it was just like,
yeah, it
oh,
hurt.
that little sting.
I'm hoping, you know what? I'm hoping maybe best case scenario, this is like a little taste from last season, and everyone's like, you guys taste that? All right.
Mhm.
We don't want this ever again, right? And then we turn this around. We do have an early bye week too. The Eagles have a week 5 bye, which could be good.
That's really early.
Really early.
And sometimes it's good to get hit in the mouth early on to like wake you up because you don't want to just coast through thinking like, oh, we're the best team, we're unstoppable, and then you get to the big game, and all of a sudden it's just like, well, it was easy the whole of the times.
I mean, I'm like last year they were 10-1 and then they collapsed. But like every game was a struggle. It didn't feel like they were cruising at any point. So I mean, this year, the Packers game, they kind of barely got away with that one.
Yeah.
Then they lost this one. Can they just go out there and kill someone? Like I just until that happens, until I see that after watching what I watched last night, I don't believe in this team. I'll
Well,
say
I
it
mean,
right now, I don't believe in the team.
you get to play the Commanders and the Giants soon, so that's like playing like a JV like high school team.
Well, our next two games are the Saints, who just kicked the ass of the Cowboys, and the Saints have looked
Yes, they
good.
did.
Derek
Yes,
Carr
they
looks
are.
good. And then right after that, we got the Bucks, who also look good. Baker Mayfield's playing out
Oh,
of his fucking mind.
you do have a tough schedule coming up then. Okay.
We
Yeah.
could go into our bye week 1-4. I mean, it's
I
possible.
mean, it is certainly possible with that schedule coming up, and
AJ Brown hurt.
whether they come back or not from that, I mean, that's how you're gonna tell if that team has actually got what it needs to go and make a deep playoff run. If you come back
Yeah.
from something like that.
I mean, I'll tell you what, we're going to learn a lot about the Eagles this week against the Saints because the
Hmm.
Saints they put up, I think, 40 points in back-to-back weeks.
I looked up the stats the other day, and they have like 90 something points scored in the first two games, and points against is pretty low too. Like it's insane what that team is doing. They're explosive on offense and they shut you down on defense. They just are a full package squad right
People were sleeping on Derek Carr, man. People were sleeping
now.
on him.
It's the revival, the second coming.
Yep. Dallas just went, they just let Derek Carr come into their house, throw touchdown passes all over him, and then grabbed his crotch on live TV. It's a great pic of him just grabbing his crotch after a touchdown celebration in
Oh yeah,
in Dallas.
I've always liked Carr. I feel like he never had what he really needed with the Raiders. Like he had a few years, but like the Raiders have never really been good at getting the people that are needed.
Yeah,
But
I
so
mean,
seeing him with the Saints and just going off like that, I love to see it.
I liked it too because I liked Derek Carr. I mean, but so it's he had that one season with the Raiders when he led them to a 13-3 record, and then he got hurt in the last game, so they had to play in the playoffs without him, and obviously lost. And that was obviously I'm an Eagles fan. It was a heartbreaker. You don't ever want to see anyone
Oh
like you want to
yeah,
beat the best players on the best teams. So it was
exactly.
yeah, it sucked to see like the Raiders finally 13-3. They looked so good, and
So good.
yeah, that was a bummer. Not as big of a bummer as Eagles on Monday night, but like we'll wrap this topic up, and I think, like I said, it's just we'll learn a lot about the Eagles coming up and how they play against the Saints in this next
Yeah.
game.
Hey, you want to know what? If they can compete against the Saints, maybe, like I said, this last loss, the punch in the mouth they needed, they're gonna wake up and who knows?
Yeah, but if they go out there and they get their asses kicked,
Oh, it's gonna be so bad.
yeah,
It would be
honestly, the people will
so
be calling
bad.
for Nick Sirianni's job. They will. Before we get on to the
One
next
thing I
topic,
will,
yeah,
one
yeah,
other thing I will say, I've heard people trying to say it's Jalen's fault. It's not his fault.
he played great
He
until
was
that pick. It was a bad pick, admittedly, but he played great until that.
up until then, great,
Mhm.
phenomenal. That defense just needs to shut people down in those last 2 minutes. You need to have a
Defense
good
played
two
like
minute drill.
trash. You know what was I will say the defense at points they have a good a good red zone defense. They have
Mm.
a pretty good red zone defense. I think their percentage on in 2 games is pretty fucking good so far as holding teams to field goals. But my God, teams they just drive the whole length of the field on this soft ass defense. This philosophy does not work where you're like, oh, let them dink and dunk the whole way and they'll make a mistake eventually. They won't if everyone's
Yeah,
wide open. Like
exactly.
these
And
guys are getting paid millions of dollars.
you're gonna play those good teams who don't make those mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, And like I said before we get on to our next topic here, sipping on a little Bailey's and coffee. What do you got? Anything? What are you sipping on?
Sipping on a little bit of tea. My throat's been bumming me lately,
Still
so
not feeling good, huh?
no, still not feeling
Nah,
that great, but I'm
bummer.
doing what I need to do.
Never had Bailey's and coffee before. Delicious.
Little Irish coffee.
Oh yeah, never had it. Fucking good. All right, let's see. What do we got next? All right, the Patriots. Whew, let's see. So, uh,
They've been surprising me this year. Week one, they won.
mhm.
I didn't even watch the week one game because I was like, they're gonna lose to the Bengals. Like, I'm not gonna worry about watching a week one loss.
Wow, they got you
And I
good,
kept
huh?
getting, yeah, they got me good. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, proud of you. And then the Seahawks, I cannot believe the Seahawks blew that game the way they did. I mean, they won in the end, but like, I don't know how they've been so close to losing games, but still somehow winning in the end against teams that they shouldn't be like
Yeah, that's the Seahawks.
competing with like that.
They're
Yeah,
scrappy.
Pats are looking good. The defense, man, the Pats defense has always been good in the Bill Belichick era, and hopefully continuing in the Gerard Mayo era. I've never been worried about the Pats defense. It's always been the offense. And the offense looks pretty good now. They obviously need things to work on. We need an offensive line. We don't have one. That's not good. And I'm happy that they're starting Brissett over May right now, just because I don't want the rookie. I don't want a Mac Jones 2.0. I don't want the rookie to come in and have no offensive line, so he's getting hit left and right all the time. He's seeing ghosts. I'd rather have the veteran be in there, him learn the playbook, study, take in all the pro level knowledge that he can. Because going from college to pro, I mean, some people make it look easy, but it's not. Like we can see from several years now, a lot of first round draft picks don't work out that much,
Oh yeah,
especially at
Bryce
QB.
Young looks like trash.
Awful. I can't believe it. Getting sat for Sam Darnold. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, not Darnold. What's his name? The Red Rifle.
Oh, that's right.
Andy Dalton.
Dalton.
Yeah, Sam
Yes,
Darnold's lighting it up in Minnesota.
he is. He is. I'm surprised with that one too. especially coming off of who was he with before the Jets?
He was on the 49ers last year.
Niners,
Sam
that's
Darnold
what it
was,
was.
but he was drafted by the Jets. But
Yeah,
yeah. Speaking seeing ghosts, that was Sam Darnold's line, seeing ghosts.
yeah.
But so like in me personally, I'm in a place where I don't. This is my thoughts on it. As an Eagles fan, looking at the Drake Maye situation with the Patriots, I watched the Eagles draft Carson Wentz, number 2 overall,
Mm.
and they started him game 1, and they went 7-9 that year. Bumps and bruises, high points, things to build off of though. Um, I think when you draft somebody at 3, where they drafted him, versus at 15, I believe, where Mac Jones was taken,
I think yes.
those are
Yeah.
different prospects. The different, it
Oh yeah.
just like contractually, and if you look at just the money, money is a great way in the NFL of seeing what teams actually think of you. And if you just look at the difference between what the number 3 overall pick gets paid and the 15 overall gets paid, it's
Oh yeah.
so I think that just based off of that, and based off of your defense being as good as it is, I honestly,
Christian Gonzalez looks like one of the
he looks
best
good,
corners
dude.
in
He
the
looks
league.
good. You guys have had 2 weeks now where it's like, okay, this team looks pretty good, but
We're
Jacoby
just missing
Brissett's
a
not
couple
going to be
pieces.
enough.
No, no, we're
I
missing a few pieces, and it starts at the offensive line, and then it goes to hopefully Drake May can come in at some point and light it up.
But this is where I am on it. Did you ever see the movie Whiplash, the drumming movie?
No,
No.
not
So that
is Nick Cannon in it?
no. It's not that. It's
Oh,
not Drumline. It's a I forget the name of the actor who's in it, but it's a great movie. It's fantastic. But the whole premise of the movie is there's a really difficult. He's a really strict and hard on you music teacher, and he is really hard on this new drummer, super hard on him. And the whole lesson that he teaches behind him is like the real legends wouldn't get discouraged. Because he said to him, what if you discourage someone by being too hard? And the teacher's answer was, the real one wouldn't be discouraged. So that's where I come from at it is, if Drake May is for real, we've seen after 2 weeks, I think you guys got a team. You guys got a team to compete for a wild card spot. You
oh
know,
yeah,
no one's saying you guys are gonna play for a Super Bowl this year, but who knows? Look what Ben Roethlisberger did when he was a rookie.
true.
Drake May could come in here and inject life into this team, and if you think he is what he is, I say after 2 weeks, I would play him. I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers sat for 2 years behind Brett Favre, and that worked out great,
Yeah,
but
I
you
just
know,
worry about, like I said, I just worry about injuries and stuff like that, especially with young players. Like young QBs, I feel like it's so easy to break a QB when they first come into a league. Just you look at the Bryce Young's, like I feel like Caleb Williams is going to be a big bust
yeah, I don't
at
like
this point. I
Caleb
mean, it's only
Williams.
2 weeks, but you also look at the teams they're on too. You know what I mean? When you have a rookie QB that comes into a team that's already got like most of the pieces, they just needed one or two.
That matters.
They
Yeah,
do a lot better, especially if they have a good coaching staff and they have a good offensive line to protect that young QB. That what allows them to develop into the Patrick Mahomes, the Tom Brady's, going old school Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, and stuff like that. Like it, the environment that the rookie is in is going to determine how they play. And if you're on a bad team, you're probably not going to be that great.
certainly. I agree with that. I mean, look at what's happened to Sam Darnold when he was drafted by the shit Jets.
Yeah,
You know,
Zach
like,
Wilson,
eh.
like
Well, I think Zach Wilson's. I think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Zach Wilson because of size. Sam Darnold's a big guy. Zach Wilson's he's like my size for God's sakes, maybe a couple inches taller, but he's not a big guy.
yeah,
Sam Darnold's a big guy. I think
yeah.
I still think it's football. I think it matters. Big people beat up little people, as Chip Kelly used to
Oh
say.
yeah,
You know, I think size definitely matters when it comes to football and other
oh for
things.
sure.
But but on to the next
Hey,
subject. Make sure you guys comment down below. What do you guys think? What do you Patriots fans out there think? Should Drake maybe starting, or should we just keep riding with Jacoby Brissett? Let us all know. All right, what do we got next on the agenda? So Whoo-wee. This Bailey's okay. All right. So another onto another AFC East quarterback. Very sad to talk about this, but has to be talked about. Tua Tagovailoa. Um, three bad concussions in a matter of 2 years, is it,
He
or 3 years? I
he's
think.
gonna
He
he
should
has to
retire,
make a
dude.
financial decision and just retire.
He
You've
should
already
retire.
made your millions. It's not worth the brain damage you're getting at this point. You made your millions, get out, keep your body as intact as you can, and just live off of what you got.
Did you see
Figure it
this
out.
last one? Did you see the
I haven't seen the clip of it yet. I know it involved Damar Hamlin, which
ironically?
how ironic.
Yeah, yeah, we laugh about it, but it would be crazy if he killed him, right? But
Oh yeah. I mean, I did see a picture. Didn't he go like the crown of his helmet to like Damar's chest
so
of all the
yes,
places to hit him too?
Damar was not. It wasn't. I wouldn't even say it was a tackle. It was Tua running into somebody bigger than him. Like
Mm-hmm.
Tua ran into him, and he was just a bigger guy and didn't move.
Oh
It
yeah.
wasn't even a tackle.
Did you ever play football in high school, like Pop Warner or anything
My
like
mom
that?
wouldn't let me. Mom wouldn't let me.
No.
I always wanted to.
I I only played in high school, and all of our coaches would always say, "Never tackle with the crown of your head because you're gonna break your neck."
Yeah, I mean, think
Like,
about it.
or
If you,
never run into somebody with the crown of your head.
yeah, you're compressing your spine, your neck,
Mhm.
your vertebrae. Like it's a horrible idea. But he wasn't.
And at the speed that they're running and how big they are, like
Yeah, man,
I know Damar Hamlin's not like a huge dude, but he's still got some
he didn't
size
even
behind him. Like,
move. It was like Tua ran into a brick wall.
mhm.
It was very clear who the stronger man there was. But I'm obviously hoping the best for Tua. But honestly, I don't want to see that guy play again. I don't
No,
want. I don't.
and
It's just
I saw something
good.
that said that he said he's going to come back, and it's just like,
Ugh.
oh, like how many is it going to take?
Yes.
How many?
Yeah, at this point, like especially because that last one, man, I remember watching that and just being amazed that he started convulsing after he wasn't even tackled. He ran
You want to know
into
what
somebody.
do you want to know what it reminded me of almost?
Yeah.
The Shazier hit, Ryan Shazier
Oh,
of
I
the
forgot. I didn't
Steelers.
see that one. I don't remember what that looked like.
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I think it was like crown of the helmet. He went to go. I forgot they were playing against. He went to go tackle him, and it just compressed him, and then he just was out.
And he had a hard time even getting back to walking and running again, right? Like, let alone he
Yeah,
never obviously played football again, but he,
yeah, no. I think he's able to like walk around again. I don't know. Like I haven't seen him in a few years, so I don't know. I know the
insane.
Steelers were like bringing him around for a while, but I haven't seen anything in a few years. But just
And he
crazy.
was he was a star too.
Oh yeah.
That's what was crazy about that. All right. So off of excuse me. Off of Tua, I think we're both in agreement there. We're wishing the best for him, man. But
Mhm.
I think this fucking guy should retire. Let us know down
Yep,
below what you guys think. Should
for
Tua
sure.
retire or should he keep playing? All
It's not worth it.
right. He wasn't ready. On to the next topic here. We got our contenders versus pretenders. So we got our 2-0 teams. We got the Bills, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Vikings, the Saints, the Steelers, the Seahawks, and the Bucks. 9 undefeated 2-0 teams. Contenders and pretenders. Let's hear your list, Dmitri. Let's go with the contenders first.
So contenders in the AFC, I have obviously the Chiefs. They're gonna probably end up three-peating this year, and I'm not happy about it. I think as a Pats fan, I think I now understand how people felt in the early 2000s with the Pats, and I'm just like, I get it now. I understand why the Pats and the Pats fans were hated so much. It
Yeah.
makes so much sense now.
Yeah, I almost root for the Chiefs just because of that, honestly. Just to uh, dilute your record a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they still got a ways to go, but like
Oh yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy what that team is able to do right now. So yeah, I have Chiefs. I have also the Chargers coming out of AFC and the Houston Texans because they look good. They look very good. And then NFC, I have Saints because they have just been mollywopping people. Vikings and Bucks all come out of the
Ooh,
NFC.
very interesting here. So you got the Bucks as contenders, huh?
They look good. I mean, they have a hard division, obviously, with the Saints, but I feel like they could probably come. They're most likely going to come in as a wild card team if they don't come in first. I see the Saints and the Bucks going neck and neck with that. I think their last game is against each other, and I feel like
Ooh.
that game could probably tell who gets first and second in that division. So I see the Bucks as a really good contender coming out of that division.
Yeah, my buddy Joe's a Bucks fan. I was actually talking to him about this morning.
Was he a Bucks fan
No, yeah, oh yeah, he's
pre-Brady?
been a Bucks fan his whole life.
Okay.
Yep, yep, yep. Everyone asks that. I ask him like, "Do you ever get sick of that?" Because as soon as we all of our friend group just started joking with him, as soon as Tom Brady went there, we were like, "Everyone's gonna say you're a bandwagoner, you know." But yeah, he said that the defense is playing really well right now, even with some injuries, and
Yeah,
I just have a hard time. I have a hard time calling Baker Mayfield a serious contender right now. And it's not that I dislike Baker. I think Baker's a good quarterback. I just
he's a
don't.
good QB, just
Yeah,
not with the Browns.
I think that Baker is Jacoby Brissett-esque in that there is a very clear ceiling and that you're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. It's the same thing with Lamar, and Lamar is like the souped up turbocharged version of that. Like, but
Yeah,
again, I think that about Lamar. I think Lamar has a ceiling, and
yeah.
if he's not going to win a Super Bowl. I don't think
I
Lamar ever
think
gets to a Super Bowl
I could see that. I
ever.
could see that. I think Baker Mayfield is better than Jacoby Brissett. Just
Would you take
like
Baker or Lamar?
I would probably take Lamar just for his athleticism alone.
Yeah, it's fun.
Just
You
just
can't say no to
because
it, right?
he is a freak of nature.
Yeah, he
Like
can go out
there are
scheming shit
times
up.
where I feel like he doesn't have that clutch factor, but just what he can do with the ball in his hands, like it's similar to Mahomes. Like Mahomes is clearly much better than Lamar, but like they're almost on the same level as much as they're not football skill, but just pure athleticism.
Yeah,
They are both
difficult to pass up
insane
raw
freak of
talent.
nature. Yeah.
Yeah. So my contender. So you don't have the Bills as a contender in the AFC. Wow, very interesting.
No, I think without Diggs, that team doesn't go as far as they have the last few years.
Very interesting. I can I see where you're going. So the only reason that I would put I'm putting Bills in my contenders for the AFC. So I got the Bills as contenders in the AFC,
Mm.
the Chiefs, and the Texans. That's it.
No, no Chargers.
No Chargers.
Okay,
I think the Chargers have a ton of talent. They're unproven though. Like they're coming they have a new coach in Harbaugh. I
but
don't
it's
know what's
Harbaugh.
that gonna look like.
Oh, we know
Like
what it's going to look like. It's going to be like Michigan all over again.
I didn't keep up with college football. I don't really know what he did at Michigan. I
And neither
remember
do I.
the 49er days,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's too much of an unknown for me. I know the Chiefs. And then the Texans, I believe in CJ Stroud. I believe in they got a lot of talent on offense and defense. Joe
Yep.
Mixon, the dude that sucker punched a girl in public. He's running with it like his nuts are on fire, like the cops are chasing him.
Yep.
Um I got and then the Bills, man, the reason I think the Bills are contenders in the AFC is just because of the lack of good quarterback play.
That's true. That I see them winning the East, but I see them coming in as probably like a 4 seed for the playoffs.
You probably haven't won and done that if you don't have them as contenders in the playoffs,
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, it depends. It depends who they get. It depends who they get as like a wild card matchup
Could get a cupcake.
because yeah, it could be like a cupcake game. You know, injuries. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
very
know
true.
who's going to be on the field in the next 15 weeks or
Very, very true.
16 weeks.
All right, for my let's see, my NFC contenders, I'm taking the Saints.
You have to right now. If they fall off, that talk about an implosion.
I think the Saints are the only NFC contenders. So
Really?
I don't think the Bucks are. I don't think the Seahawks are. I
Oh no,
don't
I
think the
don't definitely
Vikings
don't think the
are.
Seahawks are.
I think the Vikings
Seahawks.
are their defense is too soft. Seahawks, they don't have a quarterback.
No, Seahawks I have as pretenders. Like I said, the last two games they've barely scraped by against two teams that they should have beat, and they're lucky they're 2-0 right now.
So what do you think about the Vikings then?
The Vikings, the defense is a little soft, but I feel like they can figure that out. Hopefully somebody steps up. That offense looks good. I mean,
Does.
he's slinging it out there. Like,
The thing I worry about with things like this, where it's like, okay, no one expected Sam Darnold to come out there and play this well, right? He lights it
exactly.
on fire. Is that really? It's one of those things where it's like Ryan Fitzmagic esque, where Ryan, remember he had that four
I was
game
gonna
win
say,
streak. I think
I was
people were
gonna
going to
say,
catch up to him.
it feels very Tannehill the Titans for me. Like he might get them to a playoff, but then after that, it's gonna be like one and done. It's like that
Yeah,
special season.
yeah, I agree. I think the really only teams that we disagree here on are the Bills and the Bucks.
Yeah. Oh, I'm assuming you got the Steelers and your pretenders as well.
Yeah, the Steelers, I'm not, fucking Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. It's two
Yeah, it's a
trash
little
cans at this point in their
yeah,
career.
pretty much.
I like Tomlin as a coach. They seem to have a pretty good defense. TJ Watt is always good.
Mm.
But fucking like Russell Wilson and Justin Fields is it's so
It's not it.
yeah.
It's not it. That's not
Uh
gonna get.
no, Bronco Nation, let's ride. How'd that work out for Broncos? That didn't work out very well.
Steel
All right.
Nation. No.
So we're gonna we'll zip on from this one. That seems pretty clear cut to me. Just to wrap that up and summarize, I just think that everyone other one to me is pretty obvious, except for the Bills. I think a lot of people could sleep on the Bills, but I think Josh Allen has a chance to do some special things, even through the playoffs, just
Oh yeah.
solely because of the lack of consistent quarterback play in the league now. That all of the vets who were
And
dominating the league for so long, they're no longer in the league. So,
need to get into the playoffs. Anything can happen after that.
hmm yeah, that's very true.
Until you
All
play
right,
the probably gonna lose.
let's see. So we got predictions up next before our random question of the week. So let's see. Pull this schedule up. Um, so week 3.
I know we got Jets Pats
Yep,
tomorrow
starting
night.
it off with the Jets and Patriots.
Which
Will you
can I
take it
say?
and then like one or two sentences about like why?
Okay. I want to start off by saying I hate the fact that Thursday night games are on Amazon Prime.
Yep,
Like I
sucks.
have it,
We all
and the
hate it.
Pats. I'm gonna watch it, but like other than that, I never watch Thursday nights just because of the principle that you have to go onto Amazon. You can't just watch it on regular TV.
Yeah, streaming sucks, dude. The streaming service is not as good as the cable was because during the action, it will sometimes jump and shit.
Yep.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, no, complete BS. It's just money. That's
Oh
all it is
yeah.
at this
Oh my God, the money that they're making from those contracts.
point.
Jeff Bezos has like 20 Asian chicks sucking on every part of him. Yeah. So
But it's Pats Jets. I have the Jets winning this game.
whoa.
The Pats have been looking good, but I think that Aaron Rodgers is better than Jacoby Brissett. And he's going to be able to pull his team. Is it home or away too? Is it?
That's in New
It's
York.
in New York. Yeah, then definitely taking Jets. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers at home. Pats are going to play good. They're going to put up a good fight. It's probably going to be a close game. I'll call this game probably like 23-17 Jets.
He's giving us a prediction too. I'm not going to be able to count the predictions and whatnot, but if you want to put them out there
That's
for the
fine.
record,
That's
feel
fine.
free.
That's just for me. I just want to see if I'm right.
Yeah, you feel free to put those out there. Next up, yeah, I'm also taking the Jets for every reason that you said. I agree. I think it's going to be a little close, low scoring game, 21-17 maybe, 21-12 Jets. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Giants in Cleveland playing the Browns with Deshaun Watson and yet another sexual accusation.
Do you think the Browns know that they've made the worst decision in NFL history, or is it hasn't sunk in yet?
Have you ever heard of shadow work, or like where you have like this invisible thing that makes you continuously make the same mistakes in your life over and over again that you're just not consciously aware of? I feel
Oh,
like the
you
Browns need to do some shadow work. So no, I
Oh,
don't think that they have any fucking clue. Until it's too late, you know? And then they're
oh
like,
yeah.
well, we did it again because we're
Yep.
Cleveland.
And I had faith in them. They looked good for a few years with Baker, and then it just went back downhill again.
I'll tell
Um,
you what though, I'm taking the Browns in this game just because I like Jim Schwartz's
I'm taking the
defense.
Browns. For me, it's because they're playing the Giants. Like
Yeah,
that
it's not.
team is awful. I wouldn't be surprised if they went 0-16 this year.
Yeah, they look pretty fucking bad, that's for sure. Brian Dayball, man, what a fall from grace for a coach. Man, people
Yep.
thought he was amazing that first year. By the way, Nick Sirianni should have won it that year, I thought, but it's neither here nor there. All right, so next up we got the Eagles. Oh god damn, it's in New Orleans too, playing the Saints.
Oh,
I'm taking the
okay.
Eagles, but I
I,
can't
I
tell you
want
why.
to I want to agree with you just to be nice, but it's going to be the Saints at home in the Superdome. They're probably gonna light you up if your defense plays the same way you
I
played
have a
against
feeling,
the
yeah.
Falcons the last 2 minutes. They're gonna light you guys up.
I'm thinking about this in New Orleans too. This could be like a 42-21 game. Saints. It could
This
be. I'm
could
still
be
taking the
like
Eagles, but I could see a universe where the Saints fucking blow them out
this could be like a
quick.
demoralizing game. Like
It could be.
I could if the Falcons game was like that sucked. If you get blown out by the Saints after that, you might the Eagles might not come back from
Mm. Yeah, I'm yeah. Yeah. I don't
that.
yeah. I don't anything could happen in that game. I really have a fucking really bad feeling about it now that I'm thinking about it. Really putting myself in it and letting myself sit in the yeah, it doesn't feel good. I'm still taking the Eagles, but I could see a world where they get fucking blown out.
Fly Eagles
Then we
fly.
get the Texans in Minnesota playing the Vikings.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good matchup.
Woo. I'm going Vikings. I'm going to give it to the home team. I know Texans and CJ Stroud look great, but I'm going to go home team. I think Sam Darnold has a little bit more magic left in him.
I can see that. And I know the Texans just came off of an easy win against the Bears too. I feel like they're gonna ride that momentum. I feel like they might stun the Vikings. I got the Texans over the Vikings for this one.
Okay. Okay. I like this. We are this is gives I like the contrast. Last week me and Esri my guest agreed on most of the games, I think except for two. So
Hmm.
we got some good. Well, these are some good games now that I'm even looking at it. Not this one though. We got the Broncos in Tampa Bay playing the Buccaneers.
Oh, that's Tampa. If
Yeah.
that's an easy one. If they
Yeah.
lose the game, it's a shock.
This next game, absolute shit show to watch. I'm sure no one's gonna want to watch this, but I bet it's gonna be a good game. The Green Bay Packers going to Tennessee to play the Titans.
Ooh, okay. Um, see Tennessee's not looking that great. Green Bay is
No
Love
Jordan
is still
Love.
right.
No
That
Jordan
makes
Love.
it tougher. Who is the backup in Green Bay?
Malik Willis.
They like just drafted. Didn't they draft
They,
him like well? Or
they
no, drafted by the Titans.
oh,
Malik Willis. Didn't he get drafted by the Titans at first?
I believe he did. Yeah. Yep. Ironically.
Against his old team.
Yep.
Okay. Um, I'm probably gonna take the Titans in this one at home.
Yep. When in doubt, take the home team. That's usually what I do.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Bears going to Indianapolis to play the Colts. I thought the Colts were going to win last week, and they let me down. They really blew what I thought was an easy game. So I'm going to take the Bears. I think the Bears pull out a win. Caleb Williams and his painted nails go down there and femboy it up, and
Uh,
they steal a win.
yep, I agree. I feel like this is gonna be that trap game for the Colts. They're gonna come in after this loss. They're gonna be like, all right, we're playing against the Bears. Like, I don't think like anybody ever takes anybody not seriously in the NFL. Like, even if you're going up against an 0-15 team, you're still gonna go in like they're gonna win. But I feel like the Colts go into this one trap game and Bears and Caleb Bloom get that first dub of the season.
I could see that. I could totally see it. Next up, ooh, we have it. Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers going to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers.
Ooh, okay.
I mean,
Uh,
oh, this see for me, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the unknowns and everything. I'm going to take the Steelers. I'm taking the home team. I'm taking Mike Tomlin. I'm taking the Steelers defense against an LA team going across the country.
oh, that's a good point. It is a cross country trip. Oh, what time is the game?
1 p.m.
Ooh,
So it would be
West,
10 a.m. for them.
yeah, West Coast teams always have a hard time coming across. Yeah, I'll take Steelers at home for this one just because of that alone. If there was a less travel, I would have said Chargers, but
I mean, it didn't affect the Seahawks in New England.
yeah, but this again, the Seahawks did not look good.
No, they didn't, except for that one DK Metcalf touchdown.
Yeah, which I don't, that was just broken coverage.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah, just miscommunication. Next up, we got the Dolphins going to Seattle to play the Seahawks
Even though I think the Seahawks are pretenders, they're gonna go in, they're gonna win this. No Tua. I
at
mean,
home.
they're at home. Still got a great offense, pretty good defense, but at
Mm.
home, Seahawks. That 12th man makes a difference.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Seahawks winning that one too.
And again, another cross country trip.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's a Miami team going to
Oh yeah, and it's like polar opposites too.
it's probably a little chilly there now. But it is a 4 well, it's a 405 game too, so I don't know what they probably won't have any effect to temperature, but next up we got the Panthers who have benched Bryce Young after 2 games playing the Antonio Pierce led Las Vegas Raiders at home in Las Vegas.
I have the Panthers getting their first win with
Ooh,
the
no Bryce Young.
no Bryce Young.
No.
Andy Dalton comes in, Ginger Wonder pulls out the dub.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. I'm gonna stick with the Raiders because they're the home team, but I could absolutely see a world where the Red Rifle comes in and steals a victory out of Antonio Pierce.
Oh yeah.
We got a battle of California. We have the 49ers without Christian McCaffrey still going to Las Vegas, or I'm sorry, Los Angeles to play the Rams. No Puka Nakua,
No Puka, but
no Puka,
no.
no Christian McCaffrey.
I got the Niners in this one. The Rams just don't something right now. They just don't look good.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. Ah, I fucking hate to say it, but I'm gonna take the 49ers as well. I hate the 49ers. They're my NFC rival. I fucking hate them. They're
Oh,
what the
see,
Tom Brady and the Colts were, the Tom Brady teams.
the Niners are my second team, so I've always
I fucking hate those assholes. All right, next up we got the Lions going to Arizona to play the Cardinals.
Lions. Lions over Cards on this one.
Really?
Team. The Lions are good. I see them making it to the Super Bowl again, at least NFC Championship. I would say it's probably going to be Lions, Saints, and the NFC Championship.
Wouldn't that be something? That would shock the world.
Good.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals because they've been
Okay.
playing really fucking well. Even that first week 1 loss against the Bills, they played really well. And
Yeah.
Kyler Murray looks really good. Kyler Murray, someone said
Helps
that he
have
looks like a toddler who stole his parents' phone and he's running away from him with it when
it.
he's scrambling. But man, Kyler can throw the ball.
Yep.
Uh,
A
I'm gonna
good
take the
receiver.
Cardinals.
All right. I dig it. We'll see how
Um,
those go.
Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens with Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson traveling to the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, playing Dallas at home.
You're gonna hate this, but I think the Cowboys gonna take that dub over Lamar. They're gonna take that whooping they got from the Saints and just absolutely take it out on them.
That could happen. That could happen, but I'm going to take the Ravens just because I don't think the being real, like trying to be as objective as possible. I don't think the Cowboys have any offensive weapons outside of CeeDee Lamb.
That's true. They just they just tied themselves down for 4 more years with Dak. Why?
I
I
mean,
don't get.
they'll be able to work out something contractually. Cowboys have a great drafting department too. They might have one of the best scouting departments in the league as far as the guys they draft. So I think they'll be okay as far as that goes. It's just the thing about the Cowboys. It's always it's the every football team is a company, okay? And every company needs a clear message, a clear why, a unifying story that that company can everyone can get behind. The Cowboys don't have that. It's a bunch of individuals getting paid. It's not they're not unified, and they never
No,
will be under Jerry Jones. They
it's
never
me,
will
me,
be.
me for all of them.
Sorry, what?
It's me, me, me for all of them. That's
Yeah.
just.
And even the ones that it's not, I don't necessarily think it is with Dak. From what I've seen from Dak, he seems like a
Oh
really good dude. But
yeah,
it's just you could be a really good dude in an organization like that, and it's not gonna matter because you can't, as one man like that, galvanize an entire. Tom Brady could go to the Cowboys, and if he went to the Cowboys instead of the Bucks, they would not have won the Super Bowl.
no.
It's an organizational flaw. So, uh, long
Jerry
story
Jones.
short, I got the Ravens.
Yeah, Jerry Jones just is. He's got too many hands in that pot. He's got to pull back a little bit. And Kraft needs to do this. Kraft is trying to become Jerry Jones, and I don't like it.
Jerry Jones's ego is just absolutely just got the best of him because he wanted credit for those Jimmy Johnson Super Bowls, even though
Mhm.
Jimmy Johnson's the one that put those teams together with Troy Aikman and those dudes and fucking won those Super Bowls, and then Jones fired him after he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Fucking asshole. That's what he gets. He deserves to go the rest of his days without another one because that's the universal karma right there.
what if that's what it is? What if there is the Jerry curse, and they're just not allowed to win until he passes?
Instead of Jerry Curls, we get the Jerry Curse. Same thing. It's a nightmare. All right. So next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs going to Atlanta to play the Kirk Cousins Falcons. Going Chiefs here. It's pretty easy to me. I don't think the Falcons should have even won against the Eagles. I think the Eagles lost that game. The Falcons didn't win it. The Eagles lost that game, and they
100%.
deserve to lose that game. And I think the Chiefs are going to go in and beat the Falcons pretty handedly, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Agree there too. Nice. Okay. Next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Buffalo on Monday Night Football. Oh, whoa! We got
And
two Monday Night Football games this week. So we have a
whoa,
7:30 game. A 7:30 game. The Jaguars are going to Buffalo to play the Bills.
I got Bills on that one.
Yeah, me too. The Jaguars look fucking bad. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is, but they look like they don't even want to play.
no, and I don't know if it's because Mac Jones went there and he just brought the suck.
He brought he brought a low
Brought,
pressure system, fucking cold air with him from New England of suckiness. And then we have, oh, I see why they put two Monday night games on because they're both shit games. The latter game, the 8:15 one, is the Commanders, the Washington Commanders, going to Cincinnati to play the Bengals.
oh, that is a pretty shitty game. Probably Cincinnati on this one. I don't see that. That's
That's
just
like you're
another.
choosing between a turd and a turd sandwich and a douchebag. Yeah, the South Park reference. I
Yep.
guess.
Yeah, it's like they both suck. Which one sucks less?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Let's see if Jaden Daniels is any good. See if the Patriots well, no, not the Patriots. See if the Commanders missed out on Drake Maye and wish they took Drake Maye over Jaden Daniels, and he hasn't looked that great. So we'll see against the
I heard
Bengals.
a lot of people say the Pats were gonna take Jaden if he was there. Too.
I did hear that. I did hear that. I had a guest actually come on. One of the podcasts that I did was when I was doing it in person. He said the same thing. He wanted Jaden. All right, Dimitri, it's that time. I'm a little buzzed. You're feeling a little sick, so you got the tea, but you got the little tea buzz going on, a little sick buzz. So
And then,
it's that time of the week. We're going on to the random question of the week.
let's
Uh,
go. I hope it's as good as the last one. The last one was so funny.
so this one's not funny. This one's a little bit more thought provoking. We'll
Okay.
get we'll get you on for a funny one at some point, but this one's more thought provoking. An immovable object. No, I'm sorry. An unstoppable force meets an immovable object. What happens?
Nothing. You just that's essentially how the Big Bang began. That's
Okay.
how this began is what was it? An immovable object and an unstoppable force just collided. And now here we are.
Well, this is something, right? So life
Well, yeah,
happens. Is that your answer? Does life happen?
yeah. I'm saying it goes from nothing to just bang, and it's just all life and everything you see around us. Little high
One of
DF.
those, it's one of those like Thor hammer questions, right? I bet you know what? This is what I did last week too. This is what we're gonna do for each one of these hypotheticals as well. We're gonna get our piece out and then we're gonna ask AI.
Oh,
Yeah. Good section. Good section.
let's go,
Um,
ChatGPT. What do you think? What do you
so
think,
my, I
Skynet?
mean, you say nothing happens, nothing and everything at once. Is that what you're?
It's like that. What's the name of that movie? Everywhere, all at once. It's like that.
Yeah, the Chinese lady. Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna take a side here. I'm taking a side. I think the unstoppable force actually wins out here, if ever so
Okay.
slightly on an
Does it,
atomic level.
does it crash through? Does it topple over? Does it
Oh,
go
I don't
under?
know. I don't know. I know. I'm saying energetically, I believe the unstoppable force comes out on top, whatever that means, as far as the scales of energy go.
Okay.
Well, let's ask. We'll see. Chat GPT. Here we go. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Let's see. Okay, that's not the answer I was expecting. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to read it to you. It's a famous paradox that highlights a logical contradiction. The phrase unstoppable force implies something that cannot be stopped under any circumstances, while an immovable object suggests something that cannot be moved by any force. If such an unstoppable force were to meet an immovable object, the paradox lies in that both cannot logically exist at the same time. If the force is truly unstoppable, the object can't remain immovable. And if the object is immovable, the force can't be unstoppable. This is a thought experiment meant to illustrate the limits of logic and the nature of absolute concepts. In physics, there's no such thing as an unstoppable force or an immovable object, as all things are governed by relative interactions and laws of nature. There you have it, 2 and 6 sports.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you were right. You were right. I mean, you were right to a degree, I
I'm
guess.
right to the robot.
I feel like nothing something though.
Oh yeah. Nothing is something and something is everything.
All right, well, so the all right, that's it. That's it, folks.
Okay.
Oh shit. All
This is
right,
gonna
man.
get philosophical for the last like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was a good one though. I like throwing them out there, trying that something. It was something new. I might go back to the fun ones. We'll see.
I like
You
so
know what
it's
I don't
a
like about this is it doesn't give people the opportunity to give their own answer.
hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. But Dimitri, I appreciate it. This is fun as always.
Thank
We'll
you for
definitely
having
have to have you on another time. Yep.
me. Amazing as always. Love it.
All right, my friend. So, thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of 2 and 6 Sports. I'm Mike. This is Dimitri. Hope you guys have a good time watching the games and tune in next week for the next episode.